Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star. Today, I am here once again with another dream. Before I get into it, thank you to everybody that has donated so far. If you still want to donate, you still can by using my website, starscartel.com, or by using my Cash App, $Starscartel. Let's get into the message. I'm trying to keep it short, okay, and understood, okay? But anywho, this dream is it's kind of like, even though the dream seemed a tad bit long to me, in reality it's kind of quick. In this dream, I was living happy and single in a beautiful house while successfully functioning my own business while simultaneously caring for my children. The scripture comes from Isaiah 64. Oh, that you would rend the heavens and come down, that the mountains would tremble before you. As when the fire sets twigs ablaze and causes water to boil. Come down to make your name known to your enemies and cause the nations to quake before you. For when you did awesome things that we did not expect, you came down and the mountains trembled before you. Since ancient times, no one has heard, no ears have perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you, who acts on behalf of those who wait for him. You come to the help of those who gladly do right, who remember your ways. But when we continue to sin against them, you are angry. How then can we be saved? All right, y'all. So this message is for someone. You are in a moment right now where you feel as though you yourself are possibly scared of what's next. You are scared about your next. Like, I just feel like you're scared or nervous about your future. Okay. You you may be struggling to juggle everything, or you may be in a position where, like, I just feel like you may be in a position to where you just got out of a situation. I'm doing a voiceover, y'all, because I did this message, but I just feel like I did not do it the way that, like, I had to redo it. This is not the first time I had to do this, but I am not perfect. And for whoever this message is for, you yourself are not perfect. If you just went through a divorce and you are in a place where you're just trying to get yourself together, it's okay. Nobody is perfect. You are not the first person to get a divorce, and you will not be the last. Period. If you're in a position to where you just had a baby and you had to start over, it's okay. You're not the first person to have a baby, regardless if the baby was unexpected or if the baby was planned and everything did not work out. It's okay. Life happens, and life happens to everybody. But God is saying that you will one day get to a place to where you will be able to handle everything. I'm sitting up here stressing out because I have orders that I'm trying to fulfill. I'm having a hard time doing it. Had to get a new printer, got the new printer. And now I find out the new printer is not compatible with my computer. So I have to figure out if there's a way that I'm going to be able to fix it, or if I'm going to have to take this printer back, get another printer, and hopefully, prayerfully, Lord allowing, it's going to work so I can go ahead and do what I have to do. But I'm not perfect. And I just feel like for whoever this is for, you are, regardless if you are feeling a lot of pressure because other people is putting this pressure up on you. Maybe other people are making you feel as though there is something wrong with you because you are not, everything is not all the way together for you. I have to tell you this. You are not alone. You are not the only person that does not have everything together. You are not the only person that is struggling to juggle everything at once. Nobody goes through life and everything is just perfect. Nobody. Period. But God is saying that the day will come when you will be able to handle these things. The day will come when you will have your own house and you will be able to handle your business or handle your work. And you will be able to take care of your children and you will be able to handle everything happily. Will that moment come and your life all of a sudden be perfect? No, I'm not going to lie to you because nobody's life is perfect. Jesus Christ's life was not perfect. So we cannot assume that our life is going to be perfect. Even if you are put in a position where, like you have to stay with someone for a while, guess what? There are so many people that are adults and they live with their parents. And that's just their life. Like there are some people that like that is their culture. Like, and it's okay. I just feel like this entire message is just to say it is okay. It is okay if you are looking at your life where you are right now and it is not looking the way you want it to look right now. Everything is fine. It is still okay. Don't allow anybody to make you feel as though you are doing something wrong because your life does not look how their life looks. Maybe you got different things going on as to where your life cannot look like theirs. So going to the scripture, oh, that you would rend the heavens and come down, that the mountains would tremble before you. As when fire sets twigs ablaze and causes water to boil, come down to make your name known to your enemies and cause the nations to quake before you. So this could be for someone where you are having to deal you may have to deal with people that are trying to make you feel as though there is something wrong with you because of the way that your life is looking. Now, I'm going to be honest and say it's a difference between someone like this. Like, first of all, there's a difference between someone that has been on their own and something happened, regardless if you ended up having a divorce or you are currently going through a divorce. You had to go through some kind of breakup. You finished college and now you're back home, or, like something like that. You lost your job and you're trying to get back on your feet, and someone that just, they just never put forth any effort to get out on their own 2 feet, and they never put forth any effort to do anything. There's a difference, okay? Understand that, first of all. Second of all, understand that God is saying that there's a difference in people. Like, it could be a situation where it may just be safer for you to be living with other people right now. Maybe it is just a situation where you need to get your funds together so that you could, branch out and do your thing. Because it would be very stressful for you to handle all of these things while simultaneously trying to handle all of your bills. And it's not to say that you will never get to a place, because I'm not relaying this dream, this message for no reason. You are going to get to a place where you can handle everything. But understand that children are expensive. Understand that bills, even living somewhere, living on this earth, is expensive. It is expensive to have an apartment. And this is coming from someone, when I was 18, an apartment was $500 a month. The cheapest apartment you gonna find is like $1,500 a month. That's crazy. That is crazy compared to what it used to be. And then and this is just that's just rent. That's not including light bill. That's not including water bill. That is not including cable, because regular TV is not even a thing anymore. That is not including internet. That is not including so many things. And a lot of these apartment complexes, they add on bills as they go. It's very difficult to get a house right now. You have to have your money saved up to get a house. You have to have certain things together to get a house. I just feel like for whoever this is for, God is saying that either you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself and you need to relax. Okay, handle everything as it comes. Okay, if you are having to get a divorce, handle that first. Get yourself transportation, especially if you live in a city like Houston. It is so difficult. Not to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult to get around this city without a car. And it would make no sense for you to get out and be on your own. And now all of a sudden you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, and you can't function. How are you going to eat? How are you going to get groceries? How are you going to survive? Like, if you have an apartment with no washer and dryer, how are you going to wash your clothes? How are you going to do these things? Even if it is a situation where you are able, like, of a food pantry near you or something like that to help you out with food, how are you going to get there? How are you going to gather the food that they're giving you? And how are you going to get it back to your house? God is saying, allow things to happen. He is doing things. Okay. Don't think he's not doing nothing. Don't think he's not putting forth any effort. But God does things. It's a gradual thing. God is not going to just throw everything at you at the same time. There is no rule book to your exact situation. They have books that will teach you how to make a business, how to create a business. There are books that will teach you how to do the specific business that you want. There are books on parenting. There are books on finance. But everybody's situation is different. And due to the fact that everybody's situation is different, even if you have these books and you read the books and you understand the books, that does not mean that your exact situation is going to be able to fall into their steps and into what they say, how everything should go and all of that. Don't let you be reading a book that come back from way back when. Like I said, when I was 18, this is like what? 14 years ago, everything was completely different. 14 years ago, everything was completely different. 14 years ago, Houston was not as dangerous as it is now. 14 years ago, women could go about, they could go to work, they could go shopping, they could go doing whatever they have to do, their little daily tasks, without coming back to their car and there being a mark on it. And it's not to say that women weren't being taken and women weren't in any kind of danger at all, but it was not as bad as it is now. For the most part, back then, from my perspective, it wasn't a situation where everyday women that work normal jobs, that are married with children, were not being targeted the way that they are now. And it's very dangerous out here, and I don't know who this is for, but I just feel like God is saying that don't stress yourself out, because there is some reason, maybe it's a reason as to why God has you planted where you are. What a shame it would be for you to get somewhere and then something happened to you because you're by yourself. And your neighbor has been watching you enter and leave your house alone every day. And they know for a fact that you live alone. Why do they know you live alone? Because they stay right there. They see you. They see you. They've been plotting on you. They could take a month to try to get to know you and try to figure out a way where you feel comfortable with them, comfortable letting them see what you have, or comfortable just knowing who they are. They could easily, they don't even got to do that. They could call somebody and just let that person know, hey, such and such, they stay over here. This is the kind of car they have. They don't really go nowhere. Or when they do, this is, God said for some people, you don't even understand the reason that God has you placed where he placed is for your own protection. If you are in a situation where you are getting out of a breakup, you getting out of a bad relationship, you getting out of a relationship with an abusive person, you don't understand how many women end up falling victim at the hands of somebody that was supposed to be their husband, fiance, boyfriend. Because they wanted to break up because they was tired of them putting their hands on them. They was tired of them cheating on them. They were tired of them treating them the way that they were treating them. And that man decided that he didn't want to break up. And she don't want to listen to him. Bet. Now he's coming and he's trying to attack her. And some of them is not trying. They do. I was watching a story about one lady. This man came to attack her. Okay. Broke into the house. She pulled out her tool. He took it from her, hit her with it, and then fired at her. And now she gone. So, and you know, some people will try to tell you to get yourself some protection. Some people will try to tell you to do this, do that. And they don't understand. In reality, men are way stronger than women are. Period. They were made that way. They are supposed to be our protectors. But we living in a time where men are saying, protect you for what? We living in a time where a man would prefer to hurt you than protect you. We living in a time where men sometimes act as if they feel some kind of way about women. They are upset that women's lives are different than the way their lives are. We live in a time where a man that is supposed to be your husband, your boyfriend, your spouse will look at you and start competing with you, knowing good and well that even if y'all had the same job, he will be getting paid more, but feeling the need to compete with you. Some of these men, the saddest thing is, instead of them putting forth effort to strive to do better, going back to school, getting a better job, or getting an actual job, they will prefer to try to compete with you while doing the bare minimum. For when you did awesome things that we did not expect, you came down and the mountains trembled before you. For some of you, the most recent awesome thing that God did for you was when he pulled you up out of that relationship. As quiet as it's kept. When he pulled you up out of that relationship and he pulled you up away from that person that was abusing you, cheating on you, misusing you, that was a thing. That was an act of God. Some of you, you didn't even know how you would get out. You didn't even know how you would get away. You didn't understand what you were going through. You couldn't even see how you were really being treated and how you were being used until God pulled you away and you realized it. You couldn't even see how this person was pulling you down and holding you back and destroying your life until you were away from them and you were like, oh, God said he's not done with you yet. Don't you tell yourself that there is nothing better for you, nor do you allow anybody else to tell you that there's nothing better for you. And I just feel like for whoever this is for, God is saying, like, don't allow yourself to be in a vulnerable position where you are allowing anybody to try to make you feel worse than you already do, because going through a breakup or heartache is hard. You don't need to be around nobody that's trying to make you feel like you are incompetent when you have already taken such a big leap in getting out of this abusive situation. You do not need to be around anybody that is making you feel like you were doing better when somebody was putting their hands on you, cheating on you, and mistreating you. Because in reality, God just pulled you out of that. So you don't need to be around nobody that's trying to make you feel like you're in such a bad situation right now. You need a chance. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. And I just feel like that's the message. God is saying that he got you. He is going to pull you up out of what you are in. He is going to do better. You will have great things. You will do great things. But you have to give yourself an opportunity to heal. You have to finish the things that, like whatever task. I just feel like if you are going through a divorce, get that done first. If you are getting your job and your life back together, get that back together first. If it is literally not safe for you to be on your own at the moment, get to where it is. And to be honest, it's like I know every situation is different. I can't even sit here and tell you when it's going to be safe for you to be on your own because every situation is different. There are some women, they just need for a few months. And then there are some times where it's like you literally may have to move somewhere else because this person crazy. There are men that are like that in this world, in real life. Woman then got a divorce, then married somebody else, then created a whole new life with this new man, and here come crazy out of nowhere. She done moved to a whole new city. Here come crazy, tracking her down, coming to destroy her life. And I just feel like like God is saying, you have to be careful. You have to be careful and don't be so hard on yourself. Everybody's situation not the same. And it is not fair for anybody to sit around and point the finger at you and look down upon you and try to make you feel as though it's something wrong with you. It's not that it's something wrong with you. You just went through something. Give yourself an opportunity to build yourself back up. Give God the time that he needs to do what he has to do. Because when you try to move before God says it's time to move, that's when tragedy strikes. Because the scripture says, you come to the help of those who gladly do right, who remember your ways. So God is saying he will come to you when you are doing right by him. But when we continue to sin against them, you are angry. How then can we be saved? So this is just like I said, don't get yourself into a position to where you are constantly feeling as though you were doing better when you were in a situation that God just pulled you out of. Because God pulled you out of it for a reason, right? God pulled you out of it because he didn't like it. There was something about that situation that he did not like. So he pulled you away from that. You don't need to be looking back at that or trying to go back there or trying to work it out to where you can get back or trying to figure this out and no, cut that off. That's done. God says once you get to the point to where you have cut that off and you're done with that, completely close the door, lock it, shut it, seal it with gold. It's finished. And then you will get to the point where God will help you. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.